Have you ever stopped to think about what happens when even the coldest warrior, the one who always kept his heart frozen like the Arctic, lets his tears fall? Well, in Saint Seiya, we witnessed one of the saga's most emotional moments. The day Hyoga cried before Camus' tomb. His master, his rival, his father figure, and, at the same time, his greatest pain. Hyoga was always the saint who carried grief in silence. Since the beginning of the series, we saw how the loss of his mother marked him deeply, a heart that seemed wrapped in ice, protected by walls of coldness, but in reality, hid a storm of feelings, and Camus was the one who shaped that hue. More than teaching techniques of ice and the power of the cosmos, Camus instilled discipline, sacrifice, and the choice between emotion and duty. But in the end, that bond between master and disciple was sealed in the cruelest way. In combat, the battle between Hyoga and Camus in the 12 Houses is one of the most intense and emotional in the anime. It is not only a fight of power, it's a clash of ideals, tough love, teachings that turned into destiny, and when the Aquarius saint falls, leaving Hyoga with victory and the pain of loss, an emptiness impossible to fill is born. And that's when we reach the tomb scene. Hyoga, the Swan saint, the warrior who seemed unshakable, breaks down. He kneels before the cold marble engraved with his master's name, and the tears finally break through the dam holding his grief. It's not just crying for Camus. It's crying for everything Hyoga lost, for everything he was forced to carry. That moment confirms that even frozen hearts can shatter into 1,000 pieces. By the way, speaking of emotions that surround us, let me tell you something. The Sony SRS 50002 360 reality audio speaker is simply amazing. Imagine watching Saint Seiya or any epic scene with sound that fills the entire room as if you were right inside the sanctuary. Deep bass, balanced mids, and crystal clear highs. It's like feeling the cosmos vibrate in the air of your own living room. Back to Hyoga. The weight of this scene lies not only in the tears, but in what they represent. It's the recognition that Camus, even in death, continues to live inside him. It's the acceptance that strength doesn't come only from coldness, but also from pain, memory, and longing. Hyoga didn't cry because he was weak. He cried because he was human. And maybe that's why this scene stayed etched in fans' memory. Because deep down, we've all stood before a tomb, before an absence that will never be filled. And at that moment, Hyoga becomes more than a bronze saint. He becomes a reflection of our own humanity, showing that even heroes need to cry. That's the beauty of Saint Seiya. Behind the armors, the attacks, and the brilliance of constellations, there are young people who feel, who suffer, who face losses, and who find strength in what makes them human. Hyoga crying at Camus' tomb is the strongest reminder of that. Pain shapes, but also strengthens. Now here's a question. If even the hard as ice can melt into tears, what happens when the cosmos of a broken heart decides to rise once again?